This is Ranger Dragonspear, and I am back here with Lady.
Lady Loss, of course. How y'all doing? It's your favorite Lady Lot. I'm weird.
Oh my
Also, I'm
god.
so sorry if I don't have the best internet because I'm on the internet with like a bunch of family. So just brace it for a second. This is gonna be a series we're gonna be doing because I finally forced Ren to do it with me. We're gonna be talking about our school lives, our school careers, and just like crazy stuff that we've been happening. I think today we're going to be starting off with like certain teachers that played really big roles in our lives, like or at least talk about like one teacher. I have like a lot of crazy stories from high school, like from being bullied to like crazy teachers. A lot of them pretty good though, and just like a lot of stuff about school. And I think this would be like a really interesting series. Take it away, Ren.
I'm trying to think of what to say.
It's because I take control of everything when I show up. Because I'm the number one heathen.
Oy, you're gonna
Sorry
try.
if I'm a little glitchy again.
You're fine. You're fixing yourself. Let's see
But,
here.
pr- but pretty much this series is just us talking about our school lives and just sharing school stories. And we might drag other people in here if they have crazy school stories as well. We'll probably make this into like a series and make it like a playlist or something.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
I think the first thing I think we should probably start off with like talking about like a certain teacher, Mr. J, right? You remember Mr. J, right? We've already we talked about before him. What to call these teachers? So we're not going to be using real names, of course, but you remember Mr. J, right?
Yeah, I remember Mr. J.
Yeah. Uh, when I start him, me and him went to the same high school, and we had a teacher. We're just gonna call him Mr. J, and like Mr. J was something else. I loved him. Uh, my I had him in ninth grade. For those who don't know, ninth grade is like the first grade of like high school. How do I explain it for those who don't know it? Age wise, let's say like ninth grade's like 13 to 14, ages 14 to
Hmm?
13, 13 to 14.
I
If
think
like you don't get your license, yeah, I think that's about right. Or like ages 14 to 15.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I was not doing so hot in high school. I was getting bullied like really bad my first year there. And how our school is set up, like we had like you had four classes one semester and then four classes the next semester. And I was getting really bullied in my first semester, and like I was just like very isolated. It eventually got a lot better, but what really turned the tides was my second semester or my second yeah, when I was put in Mr. J's English class. He was an English teacher, and
Ooh.
I loved him. He was just like he was my first period in the morning, and coming off from someone who just suffered for a lot, being in his classroom just really brightened my day because he genuinely wanted to inspire kids to learn, and he just had like so much fun in his classroom. I actually have a few stories that I'd like to share. If you'd fallen asleep in his classroom, he had a giant alarm clock that he would wake you with, and we learned a lot about Shakespeare. He actually woke in my love for Shakespeare because we actually acted Shakespeare out in his classroom, which was really fun. He had pool noodles where we could do fight scenes with, and he had like a big stick too. Like a he had like a big cardboard tube that he loved. That was his sword whenever he did the sword fighting with us. And I can't remember what happened one day. One day he was just like mad. Like I don't think he was actually mad, but he was like like it was like between like actual mad, like playful mad, and he slammed the cardboard ham stick on his table, and he broke it. He's like,
Oh
"Look
no.
what y'all made me do! You made me destroy my stupid stick."
Oh my gosh.
But he was like in a very playful way. What really made his class like really special to me though, because I had a sister in middle school at the time, my brother would always drop her off first and then drive me. But they were both like really hard to wake up in the morning. So it was constantly running late. And my brother would not leave without my sister. So it was constantly running late for school. And his classroom was on the second floor, so it had to dash to get to his classroom. And one day I was running to his classroom and I had almost gotten to my seat and I had fallen flat on my face in the floor. He wasn't there yet because he had car duty. And when he showed up, this one girl, Nikki,
Hmm.
you know who I said Nikki was, right?
Oh, yeah. You told
Yeah,
me.
fake name. Oh, fake name, fake names all around. Cause like we respect people's privacy. But Nikki, this one girl who I had like, I'll talk about Nikki one day. But Nikki got up and she's like, "Lady was late for class." And Mr. J is like, "Sit down, Nikki." He told me to go to my seat in a more nicer voice. And he's like, "As long as you're here before I am, you're never late." And like for someone who's just like struggling to get to school on time because of pressures outside of my control, that just made me feel so much better. Uh, he had a lot of special relationships with a lot of his kids. There was this one student. I'm not gonna say too much about him, but he lived by a certain stereotype. Like he lived by it. He made all the jokes about that stereotype. I love that kid though. Like he was generally a funny guy. I hope he's actually doing a lot better now. I really do hope so. I need to see if I can find my old senior high school book and just like look him up because generally he was a good kid. And Mr. J and him would go at it, like playfully go at it. You know what I mean? Uh, but like you could tell there was like a caring relationship. That kid made a bunch of jokes in the classroom. I can't remember too many at the top of my head, but like uh, he had the turn down for what button in his classroom, and that kid would he would sneak up to his desk and play it at the most randomest times. But
Ooh.
when the kid brought up the fact that like his family situation, he didn't actually have a father figure, and he told Mr. J he was like a father figure. Mr. J's like, you know what? I'm gonna take you and your family out for a barbecue one day, and the kid's like, that would be really great. Just stay away from one of my sisters.
Oh.
And Mr. J's like, but I'm married, and the kid's like, she doesn't care. He's like, okay, maybe not. Another thing that happened in his classroom, because like remember I say he had like a special relationship with all his students. Another time, like him and another student, I don't know what happened. I fully can't remember how it escalated to this, but they were playing around, and something happened. He started chasing after the students. Like it was playful and stuff like that, and he ended up stealing the kid's shoe. And he had like a drawer there, like you know those those cabinets. He put the shoe on top of the cabinet, and his boy and his friend, they got up and started chasing him around. Like he was chasing after the boy, while his friend went up and grabbed his shoe and gave it back to him. Again, none of this was serious. It was just like we were just playing around. Another time, he also had like whenever. Remember? Did you ever read the Odyssey? I think it's the Odyssey.
We
The
never
man
read
who
it.
traveled. Oh, like the man who traveled, like the Greek legend about the man who like spent 20 years on sea trying to return home after the war with Troy. Sorry, he spent 10 years in Troy fighting Troy, and then like 10 years trying to get his home. Well,
Actually,
there's like
none.
a thing where you don't.
I don't know the story.
I need to slap you now because I'm part Greek and like that hurts me.
Should
But
I get slapped?
the school system has failed you, and you have failed me. But there's a part in the story where the main character shoots an arrow through 12 and like to show how difficult it was, he had 12 hula hoops set up in his classroom and a toy bow and arrow. And if you could hit the whiteboard, he would give you like a candy, like an actual full size bar of candy. I kept and he would let you try
Ooh.
after school too. And so I did until I had to go home.
Oh, wow.
But one day a boy fell asleep in class, and you know how he had, as I said, he had like the alarm clock, but this day he decided to do something different to wake up the boy. He was planning to shoot the toy bow and arrow underneath his seat to scare him.
Mm-hmm.
He missed. It hit the boy where it hit the boy in the family jewels.
That hurt.
And the only reason why he didn't get in trouble is because no one said a thing. Because, like, we all knew it was an accident. Even the boys, like, it's cool. I've had worse hit me there. You're fine. Trying to act like a man.
Wow.
But it's just like, oh crap, my skin went back to like, oh, oh god. Oh god. But, uh, I think I can. He also had like a friendship with the other teacher across the hall. And I'm gonna call him Evil Wizard. I'm gonna tell you all the stories about the Evil Wizard later down the line. Evil Wizard was my teacher, but him and the Evil Wizard had like a really good friendship. And one day, I can't remember who was talking to who, but one person convinced the classroom. I think he convinced the classroom to say, "Welcome to Moe's," like the restaurant. He got the whole entire class to say that every time someone walked in. And the evil wizard walked over to his classroom and opened the door and they're like, "Welcome to Moe's," and he said, "Shut up," and just walked back. Like they had that friendship. I'm just, I think I'm making it sound like my teachers were abusive. They were not. I swear, this is all jokes. They were just playing around. Uh, and how you and the best part about his classroom too. Shakespeare had a lot of dirty jokes. We just like, and unless
Wow.
you like understand them, you won't really get it. He explained every one of those jokes to us. He was just like a really popular teacher to the point where another student shipped him with another teacher until that teacher's like, he's married, right? And she's like, oh, the student. But he was just like a really fun teacher to be around. Like he really just made learning fun. He was also slightly a narcissist and played off on that too. There was like a few picture, like there was one picture one year where it's just like I'm not gonna actually get too much into it, but like he played, Rick from Rick and Morty. He had
Yeah,
very much show Rick vibes. He had a lot of Rick vibes. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like he just made stuff fun. I swear he's not as abusive as I'm making him sound out to be. He truly did care for his students. The fact that he stood up to me when I was getting bullied and stuff like that. I got bullied a lot, especially like Nikki would go after me a lot, and he's like, "Shut up, Nikki. Leave her alone. She's trying her best." Do you have any like interesting teacher stories?
Um, I do. I'm gonna be honest. It's not the best one. But
Oh,
hey, it's something. Um, I would have to say my best teacher story. Excuse me. Uh, yeah, my best teacher story would have to be the fact. Well, I think yeah, the fact that I was outed. Like I was forced out by
oh,
my teacher. Actually, it was, but it wasn't her fault. It was another teacher's fault. And what happened was,
we can talk about that later, especially if you want to save it. I can share another good teacher story.
oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it
I
too
was planning to
much.
save the evil wizard for another episode, but I think we could talk about him. I legitimately did call this teacher Evil Wizard. This teacher was one of my favorite teachers of all times. He also taught my sister, and I just really enjoyed his classroom. He was actually a pretty good teacher. He was another English teacher. He was friends with Mr. Uh, J, and I don't know what got me started calling him the evil wizard, but just like Mr. J, he made learning fun. He went against our school policy had like this really weird policy where they were not allowed to show animated movies in the school, and we were learning about dark romanticism. And it was like around Halloween, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna break this rule. I'm gonna let you guys watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. Uh, he was generally a fun teacher. Me and my sister. He met my sister when I joined Shakespeare Club, He was another teacher who inspired me to love Shakespeare. And he had two projects. When you were in, if you were in 10th grade, when I had him, he would make you write a song. He would have you take a song and write it into a story. And I found a song about murder that had no bad words in it whatsoever and nothing bad. And he looked at me and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, you can do it since there's no bad language in it." He was also, as I said later, I have a learning disability, which caused me like a lot of learning stuff. He would, if you were one of his favorite students, he would make fun of you. And when I was in Shakespeare Club, he's like, "It's okay, lady, you don't have to take notes," because I would take so long with writing notes. And then he turned to the rest of Shakespeare Club and he says, "Only I'm allowed to make fun of her,
Ooh.
except for Lady Sister. You can make fun of her too." But he just genuinely like he had a little boy too. My sister was an artist and drew a picture of him with his son. Uh,
Oh.
I actually found two sticks whittled to twined together, and I whittled it down to a staff for him, a little wand for him because again he was the evil wizard. He needed a magic wand. Oh, and my sister had him. Uh, she did something even better. He made the kids to make write a parody of the song because they were talking about parodies. And you would have to like again with my song you would have to look over the song first to make sure it had no bad lyrics in it. And my sister convinced him, practically begged him to let her do her song without him knowing. God, this is why I wanted to wait for this because I actually had to look. I wanted my sister to look up the song for me, but she did a parody of a Rickroll. Never give you up. She Rickrolled him. Even printed a picture of Rick for him, and it sounds like, oh, I really wish I could find the song, but it goes, "I'm never gonna do your work," that type of stuff. Oh God, I died there. But I really want to find that song. Maybe later, like for a different upset SoundCloud, I could actually find it and read it out to you.
Yeah.
Just there was this another time. You remember how I said like he would make fun of his favorite students?
Wow.
Well,
This
I like
video is just
I invited
all
that
you
time.
talking,
And I remember
girl.
one time he asked the class to set the desk in a circle for his next classroom. He's like,
Ooh.
"Finally, you can look at me in all my glory." And I started laughing like, "Yeah, right." Like playfully insulting him, and like he put up his fist like he was gonna fight me as a joke. So I had like a big binder at the time, and I decided to go into my binder to pull out a pencil, and everyone was like, "Oh no, lady's gonna shake him." And then they saw a pencil, like, "Oh, whew." How my desk was set up, it was right at his angle, so he couldn't really see me unless he was looking at my way. And I grabbed my pencil as if I was a ninja, like I was about to stab him with the pencil, and I slowly walked up to him. And then he turned around and saw me. He's like, this really fun stuff for that. The English department was crazy. It was just generally just an awesome time. But I would say one teacher like didn't have the best reputation in the English department was Mr. H. You remember Mr. H?
Yeah, I
And all
remember
the scandals he
Mage.
had going on? Ren.
Yeah, I hear you.
Ren.
Lady, can you hear me?
Oh god, don't tell me I've lost you. Ren.
You can hear me.
Ren.
Can you hear me?
Oh my god, I could not hear you at all.
We could all hear you. You'd been talking for 17 minutes straight. And I was trying to talk but to you, but you kept going. You must really.
I accidentally muted you.
Oh. So you muted me and you didn't tell nobody. Mm-hmm. Okay. Discover. Uh,
Do you want me to talk about Mr. H?
um, you've basically been
Do you want
talking
to say
about age for so long.
I was Mr. H? I talked about Mr. J and and the Evil Wizard.
Um, I'm cool on talking about of how a teacher forced me out.
Do you want to restart this video?
No,
I feel like I accidentally took up too much time because I accidentally muted you.
you're fine. I didn't have many stories to begin with. Plus, the audience is
I
probably
feel like a crap.
why.
I feel like a crap friend now.
No, you're not.
Please talk about your story. Please share your story.
Okay. Um, it was the week of prom. I was. I basically had just. Basically, it's like a 2 year thing I was doing. Um, which I came out as bi first. And then I was like, hey, I feel this way about guys, but I don't know, wasn't sure about women. I kind of figured, push come to shove, I was gay, but I wanted to make sure. So after 2 years of kind of like hanging around
Wait,
girls
hold
and
on. Okay,
everything, what?
keep going.
Anywho, after 2 years, as I promised, I reevaluated myself basically, and I was like, I don't, and I was like, yeah, I don't have anything going for goals. So I was like, yeah, okay, I've came to the conclusion that I knew I was gay.
Yeah.
Because I knew I didn't feel nothing toward y'all or anything. It there was nothing going. It was like hot guys, hot guy, hot guy, hot guy, nothing else.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah. Understandable. Understandable.
so I, who had an IEP, had an IEP teacher. Well,
Yeah. We and him both had IEPs, so.
mhm. And prom was that Saturday. I remembered it that week. Well, what happened was that it was Monday because my IP meeting was Tuesday. Monday came, and a classmate on my last period had asked me because he found out I was gay from a friend, and I was the first gay he ever met, and he was asking me questions, and I was fine with it. Um, but the teacher in the class, she didn't mean to, but I wish she didn't. Had went to my IP teacher and told her that I was gay, and my AP teacher, before the meeting started, had told my mother that I was gay. My mother was furious at
That
her.
ain't cool. That ain't cool, dude. That really isn't cool. I'm glad your mom was furious at her. I think you remember. I think I remember you telling me this story. And the teacher who told your IP teacher, she's like, hey, he's gay. Like, let's try. What's the best way? Let's try to figure out the best way to support him. Like, she was generally trying to help, but in doing so, she caused the IP teacher to say that, which like
Yeah,
I understand it's like not a cool thing.
the IP teacher, when I confronted her after, she said, well, I was just trying to break the ice. And I'm like, break the ice? That was my choice. That was not yours.
Yeah, and like yeah, and like you're never sure like what situation like people come from. Like I know a lot of people who never came out their parents because like their parents were like really strict. Like I come from a Christian background. I'm a Christian stuff like that. And though I come from like the loosest domination, I've like seen parents who like if my kid was gay, I'd disown him type deal. I've seen people like that, even though my family's not like that. I've seen a lot of families who are like that, and I'm like, that could seriously happen. You're not sure like what's the situation. Be like, even people who are not religious will still disown their child for like being gay. Like it's just like a generally scary thing.
It is. It's terrifying. I mean, you don't know what to do.
And like yeah, yeah, especially like when you have no control over that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not a fun situation to be in.
I hated how it went down. Um, but all in all, I mean, hey, at least, I mean, it turned out good. Um,
Yeah.
the sucky part was The fact was, I was waiting till after prom because that was a busy week for me to tell
Oh yeah.
everybody. Hmm.
You know, I fully understand that. I think I realized why I turned my volume down. I hear certain stuff from your mic, and it just me. But no, I fully understand that. How did we meet again? Actually. Oh yeah. Uh,
I thought it was
you want to talk
when
about Mr. H?
I think it
You want to
was
talk about Mr. H? I believe. Or
sure.
let's talk about like we're gonna end it with another crappy teacher, even though I talked about like two good teachers. And I'll see if like the next upside down crown when we do talk about teachers, I'll see if I can get my sister to send me the parody of Never Gonna Give You Up, because she did like a good job. Like she got an A for that. Mr. H. Mr. H was probably he was a I wouldn't say he was a bad teacher. He was a pretty good teacher, but he did like a lot of like bad stuff. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
He actually had an affair. He had an affair with another teacher, one of my sister's favorite teachers. He had an affair with her, and though my sister like fully blames the other teacher because of their affair, the teacher's husband gave her an ultimatum: either leave the school or get a divorce. So she left the school. Uh, he constantly talked about how like how he told us in class one day how the love of his life died in a car accident, and the only reason why he married his current wife is because his like it was his I think it was either his grandma or his mom's last dying wish to see him get married to the mother of his child.
Oh wow.
Like, yes, ah. And there was like the whole entire incident that happened a few years back where he got arrested. I'll let you finish the story because
Wait, when did he get arrested? Or are we talking about the other story?
we're talking about Mr. H, the one who got arrested for having inappropriate relationships with a minor.
Oh yeah. Um
Yeah,
okay.
that's that one.
Okay, I thought we were thinking about the wave. Alright, so
No.
here's what I found out. By the way, I see his sister a lot, but
Oh
basically,
yeah, no, his sister taught high school too.
yeah,
His sister was a cool teacher. Never had her though.
I did. She's awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, apparently he was having inappropriate relationships with a student for up to 2 years.
See, I had
And
like misinformation. I had like different information from it as well. I had like one person saying, "Oh, I knew the girl who he had a relationship with, and she bragged about it."
mm,
And then I had like people saying it was a false accusation. So it was like it was a very interesting thing. I remember like when he first got arrested, my grandmother called me and she's like, "Hey, did you have his class?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Did he do anything to you?" I'm like, "No, he was a pretty good teacher." So that's why it shocked me.
yeah, he didn't do. I mean, he was pretty chill. The
Yeah.
only one I knew that did something and got away with it was Miss. What was? Dang. Miss S.
I don't know who you're talking. I don't think I know Miss S. I think she. For those who don't know, me and Ren went to, like we were like different ages, so I left. Especially one year, like one of the years I was with him, I was only there for half a year, like half the day, so because I was doing college courses. But yeah, so
But Miss.
but and me and my and it, like it shocked me because like the affair, like the assault charge saying he did at the same time he was cheating on his wife with the other teacher, and me and my sister's like, how does he have time for three women, like two women and a child? Like how? Who has time for that?
I don't know. I mean, whoever
Oh
does.
God,
What's wrong?
nothing. Don't worry about it. But what happened with Miss S? I kind of want to know.
Miss S, what had happened? Excuse me. Miss S
Excuse me.
had slept with a student and got away with it. And what happened was,
Oh,
yeah, you're remembering. What
I
had
don't know the story. I'm just shocked about what's going on.
um what happened was, and it was confirmed she did. that she had slept with a student that had was 18. Now they tried to get the
Sad stuff.
yeah, they tried to get her for it. But the problem was this. Um, was that she had went and they're like, okay, he's legal age. He consented to it, and he just was 18. So there's nothing we can do. So they couldn't arrest her.
If he was one of her students, she could still get fired for it though.
Well, the thing was, it was one of her. I don't think it was one of her IEP students or anything. It might have been, but I do remember he was in my third period.
Wait, was it? Did I have her as a teacher?
I put her down in Messenger.
Oh god. Oh god. Let me see who this is. Cause like we agreed on name. I. Uh. Let me see. We agreed to previous names for this before we started talking about this, but I still don't know all his teachers. So let me see. Uh. Was she close to this teacher? Was she the one who outed you?
She's the one that outed me. She was close to that teacher.
Oh, oh, that woman. Ooh, you made me from disliking her to now fully hating her. Oof. I
Yeah,
had another teacher though. It wasn't a firm, but we pretty much knew it. He married a student as soon as she got out of high school. She was 18. They got married. He was a younger PE teacher. I don't think he was hers, but still. But no, I don't like her now even more. The other teacher though, the other teacher, the one who didn't mean to out you, she was pretty cool though. Like she had some pretty cool tattoos too. Like, did I fully agree with her on everything? No, but she was pretty chill. I legitimately think she didn't mean to do that to you. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, she did. She
No,
did.
not the one who outed. No, not the one who outed you. The one who told who was talking to the one who outed you. The one who just what would you call her? Let's call her Miss Why don't we call her Miss not no Miss Potter because she was really into the Harry Potter series. Miss Potter
I guess sure.
because like I, I don't think she legitimately was trying to like be mean to you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
that
like
one? No, not her.
yeah, yeah, no, the one who accidentally outed you to the other two. She's like, hey, we should probably like be careful around this because he might be going for a rough time. Like, I don't think she legitimately mean to hurt you because like she used the full statement. The path to hell is paved with good intentions. She definitely embodies that. Like she would definitely like. I'm saying a lot of like and definitely. God, I feel like a high school student again.
Oy, the drama.
but thank you, but thank you for making me want to slap another teacher. I was trying to like tell good teacher stories, and then there's definitely some more stories you can tell. Like, there was two other English teachers that I was really close with. There was one who I'll call Mr. Hart. He helped out with Shakespeare Club. I'm so heartbroken I never had him. There was another English teacher too. Again, I got messed with a lot in class, and I generally enjoyed her. But like, there was this one girl. She kept putting her hair on my desk, and I hated it. I kept feuding back, and I was like next to another guy because like I like having my personal space. Unless I'm close with you, I don't like you in my personal space. You know what I mean?
I know what you
Like
mean.
Rin, I am okay with him being in my personal space, but anyone else, I hate it. And she kept
Mm-hmm.
putting her hair on my back, and I asked the girl, I'm like, hey, can you please scoot up a bit? Your hair's just getting all over my desk, and it's making me a little uncomfortable. And this chick had the audacity to be like offended that I asked her that could she move up because like I was a sweet good girl, and she slapped her desk, and the woman's like, you, the teacher's like, you should. I'm gonna call her Miss Stained Glass because she made stained glasses my aunt. Really cool teacher, and she's like, that's very inappropriate. She asked you nicely to the move, and you didn't have to make a scene by it. Really loved that woman. There was another teacher too. I'm gonna call her Miss French because she was married to the French teacher who was British.
Yeah, funny enough,
And I
they're not married no more.
they're not.
I don't think they're married
Oh,
anymore.
that breaks my heart because she was such a great teacher. I came up with a new word. I said kidnapstation. In the process of kidnapping someone. I had her for like two different classes. I had her for like
No, no.
English, which I loved her for. Again, Shakespeare was fun. She let a student cuss, and he was so happy to be Hamlet and to cuss. He was so happy for that. Another thing is, she had a bathroom pass. No one really used it, but she had a bathroom pass that was legit a toilet seat.
Oh, that's so funny.
And was remember the student I told you who Mr. J stole the shoe of?
Yeah, you told me.
He was the only student I ever. He was the only student I ever saw use her actual bathroom pass as a toilet seat, and he wore it as a necklace.
Oh my. I think I saw him go down the hall.
I love like she was just a sweetie. I was also in her creative writing class the next year, and like I loved her creative writing class. We were also one day we were like doing another song thing where we wrote a story about a song. That's when I learned more about her more tragic past with us was a story I wrote, and I just yeah. But no, there was this one student. He wrote this. We had we had one big joke that year, and that was the actual cannibal style above. This one boy wrote everything he wrote had Shia LaBeouf in it. The cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
I'll tell you.
And you know his song was going to be the real cannibal Shia LaBeouf. So we were listening to the songs as him before like we read our short stories. But since he's had the music video, he played the music video,
Ooh.
and we were all and the principal, Doc. Do you want to call the principal Doctor Fashion?
Sure.
The principal. We'll explain. I'll explain why we called it. Why I chose that name. Doctor Fashion. Apparently, he peeked his head while we were watching the music video. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf,
Oh.
and he slammed the door shut.
You want to hear something crazy? Was
What?
it was that science teacher actually had cockroaches in a tank, and we actually got to watch them breed and reproduce and everything, and it was
Oh,
pretty cool. We learned something new about cockroaches.
oh God. But no, that was so. It was just. I still remember that year was the year that they made everyone take the final, even if your grade was like certain classes you wouldn't have to take the final of if your like grades was a certain percentage. And I remember her for her class, Miss French class, we prayed as a group to like to ace it. And no, the worst part is we were doing a group work as well to write a story as a group in her classroom. And I said I'm gonna make the story crazy. It had Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, an insane asylum, and a little girl.
Oh my
And
god.
and it was so crazy. It was no actual set of knowledge. I actually sat down and I wrote the story like it was a guy having a dream about his great grandmother who worked in a state asylum. His daughter had played Shia LaBeouf on his computer, real Campbell Shia LaBeouf, and just like and made the creepy girl like his daughter, because it was just that unhinged that I'm like, you know what, it's a dream. Till someone changed it to like, oh, I had a dream about my future child, and I'm like, why do you want to make the story so wild? God, it was an unhinged group. But I think we should end it by talking about the principal, though.
I
Oof, I would. Oh, I wish my sister was here because you know the way he spoke, his accent. My sister can perfect it, and
ooh.
my mom thought me and my sister were making fun of him for his like. She's like, "There's no way he actually talks like that." So she got on me and my sister for like saying that's how he actually talks. My mom taught high school, and another high school teacher, like who worked at our school, who moved to my mom's school, showed her a video of him doing a graduation, cause him, and she went up to me and my sister and she apologized. But you want to know why I call him Doctor Fashion?
Why?
He had a doctorate in fashion.
Oh! Oh, yeah, you told me that.
Yes, yes. He never wore the same suit twice in a year. He looked like a freaking candy cane during Christmas.
Which flavor?
Everyone was shocked to learn he wasn't gay. That
Dang.
man had a girlfriend.
We all were crying and weeping. I thought he was gay. Rumors were there that he was.
There was rumors he was dating another the VP. VP I had as a teacher before he became a VP, and I'm like, nah, that VP. No, he's just like he had like, I can't say it. I don't want to be labeled as a racist, but he had like certain pastor energy. Was all the sass. He wasn't gay. He just had that pastor sass energy. I really loved him too. I'm gonna call him Mr. Pastor. Mr. Pastor. He taught one of my history classes, and oh my god, how he explained history was so good. Uh, One day he was like talking about like how the U.S. like separated from Britain. He's like, the Britain wasn't treating her right, so she's like, "See you later, man. Like, I ain't doing this." He's like, "Girls, if your man ain't treating you right, just be like, bye." Just like how the U.S. said bye to Britain.
Oh?
God, I look weird.
You know he was a teacher,
But
right? Wait a minute, history?
uh, yeah, there was a history teacher, the vice principal. The principal fashion was a teacher though. He was a teacher for fashion merchandising. How I know that is because I the old the fashion merchandising teacher. I took fashion merchandise. Don't ask why. Uh, she was like
Is that
the
why
one that
your
I liked
fashion
in
looks
high school.
good?
No, actually, my mom really wanted me to take a business class, and I chose that class. My mom made me take a lot of classes I didn't want to in high school.
Oh.
But I will say one that I hated the most, but has helped me was actually PowerPoint. Sorry, Microsoft. I took a Microsoft class, and I'm actually certified in Microsoft
Excuse me.
10 and PowerPoint 10.
I was head of my class in all of the computer classes.
I hated computers as a burning passion. I loved the teacher. The teacher was the nicest teacher ever. She was the one that the student had like a dream of saying she was dating Mr. J, and like Mr. J.
He was my brother's homeroom.
But she was generally a sweetheart. You know who wasn't though? Like the coolest teachers of all, like the worst teachers in our school,
What?
the math teachers.
Yeah, the math teachers
The
actually
math teachers.
hated me. And
They hated me. Like they were like the peppy mean girl teachers. Like they were so mean. The English teachers thick as thieves. It was a toss up depending on what English teacher you got. Sorry, it was a toss up of what history teacher you got. Most of the history teachers, the male ones weren't really the best, but the female history teachers were pretty good, except for the one who became the vice principal. But like the math teachers, there was only one good math teacher, and that was Mr. Manbun.
ugh.
The rest of the math teachers were so mean. Like they were so preppy mean. I had one like as a homeroom teacher. She was the nicest of all of them, but still, she had that preppy energy. I had a math teacher who had the same last name as me, and she was asked, "Hey, are you related to Lady?" And she's like, "God no." I'm like,
Oh.
"What? I'm happy I'm not related to you." And I didn't see it because I don't understand social cues. But whenever I was in their classes, I was like in like honor society or something like that, and my sister was with me, and my sister's like, they talk down to you like you're an idiot. Like now me and my sister had issues in high school, but like my sister, but that's my sister actually being nice to me. She's like, they just talk to you like you're an idiot, and I'm like, which is like really weird because I was like one of the smartest kids in school. I just didn't understand social cues. Mr. Manbun though was cool. Mr. Manbun was my sister's teacher. Uh, my sister was taking honors math with him, and he's like, "Ain't nobody here is gonna get 100 in my class." And that got my sister, got fire underneath my sister. She would have left his class with 100 if it wasn't for the fact that on the final, she didn't have enough time to finish. She didn't finish 6 questions. Do you want to know how many questions she's missed?
How many?
Six. Six. She missed the 6 questions she didn't have time to finish. That man legitimately believed my sister was a genius, and like my sister and him will still talk from time to time. He no longer teaches at the school because you know those math teachers?
Yeah.
They ran him out. They ran him out. Like he's like, I'm not dealing with this.
That's
But like him, but and before anyone says, oh, he was after you, no, he has a fiance. I think they're married now. I'm not sure, but he just genuinely thought my sister was really smart and wanted to see the best for her.
wow. The best people were at the
But like,
library when I read all the books.
I think too close to the library teachers. I think it was the guy who was in charge of the test team, the IT guy, who I got to know the most. It was really cool.
Yeah, well, I quite enjoyed it. Because let me tell you, they were pretty nice. I actually kept reading. My English teachers were like, Austin, you literally just got this 2 days ago. You're already done. I'm like, yes. And they're
He
like,
talks your name by the way.
so I've done it in the past.
This is why I forcibly made you start calling me later.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they know,
But I
but they would be like, they're like, you finish this, Ren. What, what? And they actually asked me what my book was about. I'm like, and I would tell them what it would be about, and they're like, oh my gosh, she actually read the book within 2 days.
was here for my manga phase during that time period, like when I was really into manga.
Yeah, I read the manga and chapter books.
I don't think our school had a lot of manga though that I could find. I think there was like only a few I could find, and one was like Cardcaptor or Sakura. But like the library was pretty chill. I'm sad that you never like went to school when I was there, like the early years, because the cafeteria was so small, you could go to the library after you're done eating to read. I actually did that with one guy. We played chess.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I think that should be like a different story for like all the different people I met, like the school students. I think this one should just be labeled as school story teachers, and then we could talk about like students we dealt with, because like I feel like another good upside down crown would be talking about bullying and just our classmates, because the classmates were something else, something very much so else. I got stories
Oh, I
about
believe you
those
do.
guys. But like, how long have we been going on this rant?
For 47 minutes.
I mean, this might be a good like stopping point, just because like, how many
I think so too.
minutes have I just been
I
talking?
I've lately only haven't even talked much, and I can't believe you didn't even take a breath to breathe. You just kept talking. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Like you were ready for this video.
Oh, yeah, you know, like months for it. I don't know when to shut up too, so it doesn't help that I accidentally muted you.
Oh, she wanted to talk. She's been waiting for this
I
video
want to
for
talk.
months.
Oh, definitely. Oh, wait till we talk about the students. You think I have like a lot of teacher stories? Wait till
Oh,
we get to the students.
oh,
You'll
I
be
have a lot of
shocked
student
at how many stories
stories.
I have. Yeah, I think that one. I think that's going to be the better one out of these two.
Oh right. Well, this has
I also
been.
need to. I also need to get my brother in this to tell us his teacher stories.
Oh boy.
He started a war against the teacher and won. Remember how I say I come from a long line of teachers?
Oh dear.
That
What?
may,
You okay?
no, I'm not.
Okay. Double checking. I was worried that you were dying on me.
If that doesn't show my death, then I don't know what does. Also, I'm so sorry if I glitch out.
You're not. I'm just like, what in the world? You done? Are you done talking and being your
Never.
excitement?
I'm never done talking. I will always talk.
Apparently, you were so excited. Like even my brother behind me can tell I've even spoke a couple words.
And I realize I'm really bad at telling stories because, like, I'm pretty sure no one's gonna care too much about my stories.
That's fine. They will. Alright. I think this is a good stopping point. Now,
Let's just end it here before I die of embarrassment for muting you and feeling like a crap friend and just talking your ear off for like 45 minutes.
oh, you're not a crap friend. You're just someone that really, 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 really likes to talk. A lot.
I do like to talk a lot. I love this, which is funny because I hate the sound of my own voice.
It's okay. That's what the video is for.
Well, I hope I torment all of you with the
Excuse
sound
me.
of my voice. Bye!
Bye. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.
We'll hopefully talk about the students next time. Bye!
Bye.